Om Shanti. Good morning, Diamond Morning. Murli, today is the 22nd of March 2022. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, if you want to celebrate a meeting with the Father, if you want to become pure, become true spiritual lovers, remember no one but the one Father. Question. Why is the status of Brahmins, who are to become deities, even more elevated than the status of deities? Answer. At present, Brahmins are true spiritual social workers. They give human souls injections of purity and yoga and take the sinking boat of Bharat across by following Srimad. They make the people of Bharat, who are residents of hell, into residents of heaven. Deities do not do such service. They experience the reward of the service done at this time. This is why Brahmins are even more elevated than deities. And the song Murli, our pilgrimage is unique. Om Shanti. You children heard the song. We are human beings. A soul is called a soul. And when it is in a body, it is a living being. Souls come from the supreme abode. They come here and adopt bodies. This is the field of action where we come to play our parts. The Father says, I too have to play a part. I have come to make impure ones pure. At present, not a single being in this impure world is pure. Then in the pure world, there is not a single impure being. The golden and silver ages are pure, and the copper and iron ages are impure. Only the purifier Father comes and gives all of you the teachings. And what teachings he gives us? O souls, you have now completed your parts of 84 births through bodies. During that time, you experience happiness for half the time and sorrow for the other half. Sorrow begins gradually. At present, you have a lot of sorrow. There will be many more calamities to come. All are corrupt at the present time. No one has yoga with the Father. Souls have forgotten themselves. The Father now sits here and gives the example of a lover and beloved. A girl and boy do not know each other at all. Yet when they get engaged, they become a lover and beloved. That marriage is for vice. They are said to be an impure lover and beloved. There are also other lovers like Laila and Manju, etc., who simply fall in love with each other's appearance. They continue to look at each other, but do not indulge in vice. Even whilst doing their work, the beloved would appear in front of the lover, just as Krishna used to appear in front of Mira. That one is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, the beloved, of whom we all souls are lovers. Everyone remembers him. There are many lovers, whereas the beloved of all is one. All human beings are lovers of that one. People perform devotion in order to meet God. Devotees are lovers of God and is the beloved. Devotees are lovers and God is the beloved. How can there be a meeting? So the beloved of everyone, the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul comes again. He has now come and he says, if you children want to meet me, you must constantly remember me alone. Have yoga with me and become my lovers. There is nothing but sorrow in this kingdom of Ravan. It now has to be destroyed. I have come to make all of you pure. This is your last birth. Therefore, if you remember me, your sins will be absolved. You will then be liberated from the punishment of Dharamraj. The incorporeal Father says, my beloved children, it is now the time of settlement. Each of you has a burden of sin on your head. You must now become pure, charitable souls. Only by having yoga will your sins be absolved, and only then will you become pure, charitable souls. The Father says, you have been sinful souls for 63 births in the kingdom of Ravan. From impure souls, you're now being made into pure, charitable souls. Deities are pure and charitable souls. Sinful souls worship pure, charitable souls. It is now the last birth, and everyone has to die. So why should we not claim our inheritance? Why should we not become pure, charitable souls? The greatest sin is to indulge in vice. Vicious ones are called impure, whereas viceless ones are called pure. Sannyasis too are impure, and this is why, in order to become pure, they leave their households. Then, when they become pure, everyone bows down to them. When they are impure, no one would bow down to them. There is no question of bowing down to anyone here. The Father gives Srimad to you, children. And what Srimad he gives? Consider yourselves to be souls. We have come here to play our parts, and we will then return with the Father. All physical pilgrimages have now to end. You have to return home to the land of peace, where people are on a pilgrimage. Whilst people are on a pilgrimage, they remain pure. Then as soon as they return home, they become impure. That is a physical pilgrimage for a temporary period. You're now being taught the spiritual pilgrimage. The Father says, by following my Srimad, you will not become impure for half a cycle. In the golden age, Radha and Krishna do not marry each other in order to become impure. There they are pure. Children are born there through the power of yoga, just as you become the masters of the world through the power of yoga. Children there are never devilish, because why children there are never devilish? Baba says because Maya does not exist there. Children there only perform good actions, and those actions are neutral. Here, in the kingdom of Ravan, your actions become sinful. This play is predestined. All of you Brahma Kumars and Kumaris are brothers and sisters, and so you are grandchildren of Shiv Baba. You receive your inheritance of the kingdom of heaven from the grandfather. The Father now comes and enables both males and females to have yoga with him. He says, whilst living in your households, remain pure. Show such courage. Although you live together, do not let the fire of lust ignite. If you live together and remain pure in this way, you will receive a very high status. You have to become celibate, like Bisham-Pitanami. This requires effort. People think that this is very difficult. However, only the Father teaches you this method. God, Shiva, speaks. Krishna is not God. He is a human being with divine virtues. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar are residents of the subtle region. The status of Brahma is higher than that of Vishnu, just as the status of Brahmins is higher than that of the deities, because at this time you are spiritual social workers. You give the souls of human beings the injection of purity and yoga. Only you make Bharat into heaven at this time. This is why there is greater praise of those who make it that. Although you become deities at the present time, you are Brahmins and you do service. As deities, you will not do service. There you simply rule. Your service is to make Bharat, which is the resident of hell, into the residence of heaven. Your service is to make Bharat, which is the residence of hell, into the residence of heaven. This is why it is said, salutations to the mothers, the Shiv Shakti army. Mama is shown riding a lion, but it is not like that. You are lionists because you conquer the 5 vices. You make Bharat into heaven. This is elevated service. This is why there are many temples to the Shaktis, but there is only one main one. It is Shiv Baba who gives you power. All praise belongs to him. Then the name of those who become his helpers are also mentioned. The Pandava males are called Maharathis, in brackets, elephant riders. Both males and females are needed. This is the household path. You must never adopt a vicious guru. There is no benefit in adopting gurus who are householders. If a householder, that is, an impure person, meets an impure person, he can never make him pure. They call themselves followers of the sannyasis, but they don't become sannyasis themselves. So that is a lie. Nowadays, there is a lot of deception. Householders become gurus, but they do not observe the discipline of purity. Here, the Father says, become pure, for only then can you be called the children. You will not be able to receive the kingdom unless you become pure. So, you must definitely have yoga with the Father. That's the only way to become pure, to have yoga with the Father. Then, whomever you happen to believe in, for instance, if you believe in Guru Nanak, you will then go into his regime. Only those who take these teachings and become pure will, at this time, only those who take these teachings and become pure at this time will go to heaven. Guru Nanak cannot be called a deity. Deities exist in the golden age. There is a lot of happiness there. Those of other religions do not know about the happiness of heaven. Only the people of Bharat exist in heaven. All the rest come later. Where are they at that time? When it is heaven and earth? They are in the soul's world. So all the rest come later. Only those who become deities will become that. At this time, people worship the deities, Lakshmi and Narayan, and say that their religion is the Hindu religion. Because they have become impure, they have forgotten their religion and call themselves Hindus. However, you belong to the deity religion. So why do you call yourselves Hindus? There is no such thing as the Hindu religion. It is because they have fallen. Baba says there are very few who come here and take these teachings and then become deities. They are the ones who change from human beings into deities. Even if they only take a little teachings, they will go into the ordinary subjects. By belonging to the Father, they will enter the rosary of victory. You now have to become spiritual lovers of the beloved. In the golden age, you will be physical lovers And in the Iron Age too, you are physical lovers. Now, at the Confluence Age, you have to become spiritual lovers of the one beloved. The Father says, continue to remember me. By indulging in vice, you will receive 100-fold punishment. If you fall, you should write to Baba, Baba, I have dirtied my face. The Father says, children, you now have to become beautiful. Krishna is called Sham, Sundar, ugly and beautiful in brackets. That soul has become ugly at present. Then by sitting on the pie of knowledge, he will become beautiful. He will become beautiful for 21 births, and he will then become ugly. This is the predestined play of the ugly and the beautiful one. It takes a second to change from ugly to beautiful, and half the cycle to change from beautiful to ugly. You are ugly for half the cycle and beautiful for half a cycle. The one beautiful traveler is Sri Baba, and all the brides are ugly. He teaches you yoga in order to make you, how he teaches us yoga to make us? He says, beautiful. There is first-class natural beauty in the golden age, because even the 5 elements are Sataprata. Your bodies there are beautiful. Here, they have artificial beauty. Purity is very good. Many come to Baba and make a promise of purity, but some fail and others pass. This is the godly mission. You have to salvage the sunken Bharat. Ravan has sunk the boat of Bharat, and Rama has come to take the boat across. It is in your intellects that you will go to heaven and build palaces studded with diamonds and jewels. You will shed your bodies and become prince and princesses. Only those who are Baba's children will have these thoughts. This is God's court, God's family. You sing, you are the mother and father, and we are your children. And so this becomes a family. God is the grandfather, and Brahma is the father. And so you are brothers and sisters. You receive your inheritance of heaven from the grandfather, that is from Shiva. You then lose it, and Baba comes to return it to you. You now belong to the Father in a practical way in order to claim your inheritance from him. You are the children of Brahma and the grandchildren of Shiv Baba in a practical way. So this is called God's gathering. You can also call it God's family. Acha, okay. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say, Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharma, points to practice for today. First point, you have to become completely pure, that is, beautiful, by sitting on the pyre of knowledge. Purity is the #1 beauty, and so you must imbibe this beauty and claim the right to be called a child of the Father. Second point, at this time of settlement, remove the burden of sin that is on your head by having remembrance of the one Father. In order to become pure, charitable, so perform elevated actions. In order to become a pure, charitable soul, perform elevated actions. Baba's blessing for today. May you be doing service whilst being aware of your combined form, and become an embodiment of success. Just as a soul and a body are combined, and the future Vishnu form is combined, in the same way, the Father and I, a soul, are combined by doing service of oneself and all other souls, whilst being aware of this form. You will become an embodiment of success. Never say that you were so busy doing service that the chart of your own stage became slack. Let it not be that you go somewhere to do service, and when you come back, you say that Maya came and that you had an off mood or you were disturbed. The way to expand service is to do the service in a combined form of the self and everyone else. The way to expand service is to do the combined service of the self and everyone else. Slogan: to be ignorant of limited desires is to be very wealthy. Om Shanti.